are at the wrong rally.
Well, she just completely destroyed her own campaign. She killed it. Welcome to the channel, Model Renaissance Man. I am Ty Smith. I appreciate you guys taking time out of your day to view my content. Make sure you are following me on all the platforms you see above and below, and maybe you should consider hitting this like button right here. When you hit this like button, it has my content to consistently be recommended to you. It also helps push my content out in the YouTube algorithm. Last but not least, double check and make sure that you are still subscribed to the channel, because people are being unsubscribed to the channel. And trust me when I tell you, based off of what I'm going to be talking about right now, it's a good chance that this video is going to be heavily suppressed, because you can't talk about things what I'm about to talk about right now, especially this particular topic. Okay? You got my sister, Candace Owens, in trouble at the Daily Wire. Ladies and gentlemen, I think Kamala Harris just completely she's already been, you would think it couldn't get no worse. You would think that after failure after failure, failed interviews, failed podcasts, that Kamala Harris would try to get a grip. Well, she just made a huge debacle on this one, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to my longtime subscriber, longtime Patreon supporter, one of the first people that I talked to when I started my channel, Mama Don from North Carolina. We definitely are praying for you guys. I know that you didn't get affected by Hurricane Helene, but a lot of people around you did. Mama Don, I'm glad you and your family are safe. Shannon and all you guys, glad you guys are all safe. But Mama Don sent me a link, and I looked at this link and I couldn't believe what was said in here, ladies and gentlemen. I think Kamala Harris made a huge mistake on this one right here. So she was at her rally, ladies and gentlemen, and something was said. Now, whether she understood this or not, but it completely caused her to kind of flip. Now, before I show this, I want y'all to keep in mind of the black young woman that was shot and killed by police in Springfield, Illinois, for saying this name that's above all names. Yeah, you know what I'm talking about. Listen.
Kamala Harris is having to deal with protesters at some of her, and if you watch some of these rallies, you start to think maybe the wheels are starting to come off just based on what she's saying. Watch this.
We remember Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade, and they did as he intended. Oh, you guys are at the wrong rally. No, I think you meant to go to the smaller one down the street.
Wow, that's where you see who she really is in that moment. So somebody said Jesus is Lord. Obviously, these were pro-life protesters who were at her rally, and her response was, Jesus isn't here. You need to go to that other rally where they like Jesus. Unbelievable. And by the way, you guys, this is on the heels of this past week or last week, a pro-life protester who back in 2020, an African-American woman who was protesting, and she was blocking the entrance, but she had had a traumatic abortion when she was 15. So she was a pro-lifer. She blocked an entrance in 2020 while BLM was burning down cities. She blocked an entrance, and now she's facing 3 years in jail. She has a child, husband. Pro-lifers definitely know who is on their side and who is going to attack them. And you saw right there.
And Harris has no idea. Those very well may have been regular Democrat voters at a Harris rally. Michigan has a lot of...
No, that was La Crosse, Wisconsin. That was La Crosse, Wisconsin, yeah.
Just like in Michigan, in Wisconsin, you have a lot of pro-life Democrats. And that's the needle that they have to thread. And she obviously is not prepared to do that.
You can't think of a Democratic candidate, I don't think in our history, Barack Obama or Joe Biden included, no Democrat would respond in that moment the way that she responded. 100%. You have to understand the gravity of that response. I don't know what she saw. I don't see the camera from the other angle. I don't know what she internalized. I don't know what she heard. I don't know if she heard Jesus is Lord. Right. But that's what was said. And for you to respond, you're at the wrong rally, I don't care if all she thought was they were pro-life, to your point, Charlie. That is, in our past, in the history of America, a campaign-killing response. Now, even if she doesn't mean it, that is political buffoonery. No one would tell that constituency, yelling in the name of Jesus, you're at the wrong rally. The election would be over. Over. And it should be over this morning. That is a killer.
I absolutely love the transparency of it, though. In that moment, that was one of her most authentic moments. Honestly, that's who she is. She is that person that you just saw there. By the way, this yelling thing is becoming a pattern. So she was at Grand Rapids at a rally there, and here's what happened.
One who suggests we should terminate the Constitution of the United States should never again have the privilege of standing behind the seal of the President of the United States. Never again. Never again. Never again.
I don't mean to keep making every single clip like the deepest insight into everyone's psyche, but once again, I want to say this. We really, as a people, need to begin to understand the psychological tactic of projection. This is everything. This is projection, okay? This is a party who's been in power, who's undermined the United States Constitution, and for that matter, openly showed tension and aggression towards the United States Constitution. To project anger at this moment, like, never again about the Constitution. Please, the Constitution is under threat from one particular ideology.
100%. By the way, Harris was asked how her campaign went from joy to what you just saw. What happened? Watch.
Critics who say the joy is gone, you respond.
Oh, I'm having a great time.
Yeah. Wasn't that so joyful, that the earlier clip we just saw of her screaming at everybody? Listen, obviously, this is about being frustrated that everything they tried is not working, that they thought they could sleepwalk through this and sort of manipulate their way to the finish line. And Donald Trump is picking up steam at exactly the wrong time, because it's really hard to turn that back right now.
And when she goes on that tirade, she's pointing to the vice president's seal on the front of her podium. And there's something extra authoritarian about that.
Yeah.
He never again will he stand behind the seal. It's like, whoa, lady, this is creepy.
Well, we started the conversation this morning saying...
Also, you're trying to win mail votes, too? Like, that also doesn't help.
Woo! So my number one of the biggest charity events that they put on, the Al Smith charity with the Catholics, she didn't show up and sent one of the most cringe videos. One of the most cringe videos. I don't know if this guy look, guys, I don't know all Catholicism when it comes to who these people are, but I don't know if this is a bishop or archbishop, whatever, cardinal, whatever. He gets up there. He's disappointed that Kamala Harris didn't show up. First time a presidential candidate did not show up to one of these events. Heck, Letitia James was at one of these things before. But she don't show up to there. That's already bad enough. And she gets completely roasted for it. But for a person to say Jesus is Lord, and she turns around to say, you at the wrong rally, you need to go to the small one down there. Holy smokes. Yeah. But at the same time, ladies and gentlemen, should we be surprised? Let's keep it real. Should we be surprised that if somebody says Jesus is Lord, that somebody like that will respond? Now, I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat. Worship who you want to, praise who you want to. But it's clear right here that when you say Jesus' name, it caused some people that got some wicked spirits in them to become uneasy. I'm telling you right now, there are a lot of folks that are in politics, and I keep telling y'all over and over again, these people work with spiritual entities. They work with fallen angels. They work with, you can call them fallen angels, devils, demons, aliens, Nephilim. All of them are nothing more than the original fallen angels, period. This is who these people are working with to do the deeds of the devil, which is completely destroy God's most precious creation. That's you and me. And the fact that we're talking about creation in what regards to our creations of what? Life, a human life. He said he hates hands that shed innocent blood. How much innocent can you get than a baby? So for this person to say Jesus is the Lord, and then all of a sudden she flips, oh, well, you need to go down the rally down the street. Oh, the line's drawn, ladies and gentlemen. But again, we shouldn't be surprised. Y'all, come on. Should we really be surprised? No. Not at all. But at the same time, I think right here, for some of them folks that may not have the same type of response like I do, to where I'm like, I expect that from devils. Guys, are you surprised if you get a cold and somebody say you have a cold, you be like, oh, I dealt with this before? Are you surprised if you ever had the flu? You get the flu, oh, I dealt with this before. All I'm saying right now, ladies and gentlemen, is something like this. People like me, I've dealt with this before. I expect the flu to do what the flu does. I expect cancer to do what cancer does. I expect any type of disease to do what a disease does. I expect devils to do what devils do. I expect those that work with devils to do what those that work with devils do. There it is. Y'all just get to see it out there in the open just like that. Ooh, I know it's going to be a lot of y'all in on this one. Let me know what you guys think by putting it in the comments below at this video. Do not forget, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you, this video is going to be suppressed because you cannot talk about Jesus in this extent. Look what it did to Candace Owens when she said Jesus is the Lord or Jesus is King, one of those things. Look what happened to her at the Daily Wire. Watch what happened to this video. That the fact that I'm even talking about Jesus, watch how heavily suppressed it gets. And that's why I'm urging y'all to share the video, push it out there, like the video, leave a comment, ladies and gentlemen, because they are not going to like this at all. The next video that I will be doing in chronological order most likely is going to be up here. Things that I do as a variety on this channel will be down here. I am Ty Smith, Model Renaissance Man, and I hope and pray that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus.